Jake. I was so impressed by your performance, and this seemed like such an interesting challenge for an actor to be in this film where your performance isn't just so pivotal, but it's largely you having these phone conversations while looking at a monitor. And it's almost like a play to an extent. How intriguing and difficult was this role for you?
I mean, I just love the whole idea that at a certain point, the movie required like a deep imagination from the audience, that it challenged your perception of who was calling in, what they looked like, just because of how they sounded. Were they this person, that person? Who were they? To me, it just challenged all the things we're so used to seeing. Like we're so used to seeing everything. We're shown everything in movies at this point. The frame is packed with stuff, and the more the better. And I just felt like this story was so strong that you could rely on it completely. And all I had to do was really sit there and listen. I also felt like, yeah, I just loved that idea. I mean, it was about listening, not only the audience, but the characters. So I didn't really have to do a whole lot. We just had to hire great actors to listen to, which we did. And that's what happened. But actually, it turned out, if I'm really honest about it, listening is a whole lot harder than I thought it was going to be for, all hours of the day. But quite an interesting experience.
And then Antoine, what was the biggest challenge in making the film visually interesting throughout? And do you feel like the plot's confines really made you be more creative as a director?
Yeah, I mean, always trying to be more creative as a director. It all comes from the material. It all starts with the material, and then of course the actor you have in front of you that inspires you to be more creative as well. But yes, the environment was limited, which was part of the story. So as a director, you have to find ways to keep it interesting for the audience. What I discovered about it was less was more when you have a great actor like Jake and other great actors on the phone, because you don't want to do anything to distract from the story and the performance. And that's part of what was fun about it, was to constantly check myself to do less so that the audience could enjoy the story and the journey of the characters.
Jake, I love that while this abduction's happening, your character's own court case is looming, and you're clearly seen as struggling. What went into portraying this character that's very stressed out and sort of dealing with his own demons while, trying to save a life?
Well, what I loved about the movie was that it was about not earthly redemption. It was about sort of spiritual redemption in that way. In the end, that in the end, the truth is not going to always be easy, and may not provide comfort, in the reality that we're in, but it's essential to making the systems work and healing the systems, And I think that was what I loved about it. I love that in the end, it's hard for me to make a film where there's not another undercurrent. I like a number of different layers, and at the first layer of this movie is this crazy thriller. And then as it reveals itself, it ends up being about going back inward, I just love it's like this big wave that comes at you and then it comes right back at you. And that's how I always felt about it. And just felt so important to transpose even the original film into an American context, because I think a lot of the things that are undercurrents in this movie we're dealing with as a culture, and so important to kind of start to begin to speak about in an artistic way.
Amazing. Thank you both for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.